to order. As everybody knows, because this is what you're here for, the March meetings are dedicated solely to budget consultations where non-for-profits come in and, come before the board to ask for funding. So just because we have a lot of people here and everything, I'm going to ask first the members of the board to introduce themselves, and then if everybody sitting around the table can also introduce themselves. Joni, you want to start?
Sure. Joan Cusack, District Manager, Community Board 1.
Fred?
Fred Genta, Chair, Community Board 2.
Angie?
Angela Shen, Staten Island Borough President Office.
Marie Carmody LaFrancesca, Staten Island Borough President's Office.
Good morning, Mildred Hikazu. I'm from the Office of Kamala Hanks.
Elena Brady, Councilmember David Carr's office.
And Brooke Russell-Sakota in the Staten Island Borough President's Office.
Okay, Teresa, you want to start?
Oh, sure. Teresa Sorelli, Chief Development Officer, Seaman Society.
Good morning, everyone. My name is David Gaskin. I'm the President and CEO of Seaman Society for Children and Families.
Yeah, thank you. Paul Tharp, Executive Director of Staten Island Ballet Theater.
Good morning, everyone. Linda Barron, President of Staten Island Chamber of Commerce. Hi, Debbie Tafordi, CFO, Grace Foundation.
Hello, everyone. It's Kathy Del Fury from the Grace Foundation, Executive Director.
Good morning, Ann Lawrence, CP Unlimited, United Cerebral Palsy, Vice President for Staten Island.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Manny Jimena. I'm the Finance and Grants Director for the Fright Center Staten Island.
Jessica?
Hi, I'm Jessica Phillips, the CEO of Historic Richmond Town.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Norman Bailey. I'm the CFO of Venture.
Good morning, I'm Eileen Rosen. I'm the Development Director for Modest Community Services.
Good morning. I'm Juliette Douglas, CEO of Vengeance.
Good morning, I'm Victoria Munro from the Alice Austin House. I'm the Executive Director.
Susan Fenley, Sundog Theater. I'm the Executive Director.
Joanne Gerenzer, Even 2 Programs, Executive Director.
Welcome, everybody. We're glad that you were able to make it. So if we could just please rise, everybody, and say the pledge. Okay, there, up here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'm going to save all the housekeeping issues for the board until tonight's portion of the meeting, being that we have so many people, just so we can get started. So first up is Seaman Society for Children and Families.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody, for giving us the time and consideration today. We really appreciate it. Again, Teresa from Seaman Society and David, President and CEO of Seaman Society. So first, we wanted to just kind of give a quick overview of what Seaman Society is and what we do. We're predominantly known as a foster care agency, but we also have prevention services, domestic violence services, family support, family treatment and rehabilitation. But really, we're trying to wrap the entire family, big giant hug, children and adults, and give them any supports that they need, and keep the biological family reunited is ultimately our goal. We're here today specifically, though, to request support for our preschool. We've transitioned from having in-home daycare programming to our own separate preschool, actually right up the corner. We're at 95 Central Avenue. We have space to accommodate 60 children, so we're looking for 3 and 4-year-old children for 3K and 4K. Preparing for kindergarten, developing math and literary skills, really just high-quality preschool programming. And then predominantly in the North Shore, so we're accepting ACS and HRA vouchers. I always get all the acronyms confused, but we're looking for really to support the North Shore community that maybe couldn't afford high-quality early education. It's free to the families through that voucher program as well. We would use any support that we receive from the Borough President's Office for that program, just to maximize what we currently have, ensure program stability, support the rent increases. We've slowly seen increases each year as we're creating that program, updating and upgrading all of our classroom spaces, and just enhancing all of those services. And then a lot of the information is included in here too if you want to see any other further information, so we're happy to answer any questions.
Okay, I have a question. Is this, program already in motion right now?
Yes, it just started in September.
Okay, all right, perfect.
We're currently enrolling,
Right.
Okay.
Ongoing enrollment.
But classes are taking place now, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, because then we wouldn't be able
No,
to
no,
fund you
we're
for
fully
future.
open and operational.
Okay, yeah, because I just needed to make sure that it was, because we're not, the council funds, like, they're always like a year ahead, but we fund in the current fiscal year. So I just wanted to make sure that you did have services.
Yes, we do.
Okay, Angie, any questions?
You said for voucher programs,
Yeah.
free for voucher programs.
Right, it's
But
free for the
none-
family, we accept the vouchers that they have through ACS or HRA.
Okay, so if someone doesn't have a voucher for the child,
We can support them in gaining the voucher if they're eligible, so that they can enroll.
Right, some of the families present without the vouchers and we assist them with getting those vouchers through the city voucher programs. So, or there may be families that are currently in our programs that say, Teresa mentioned the preventive services. So these are families in the community that are getting services through Seaman Society. They may already be connected to ACS and they're looking at the vouchers.
okay, so my question is it open to the community?
Yes.
So is there a fee if there's no voucher?
No, not at this point.
Oh, okay.
Not at this point. We haven't put in any kind of pricing to it yet. So.
Any members who are here have any questions? Joni, do you have any questions?
No, all good.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Okay, moving right along. Next up is Venture House. Also too, I just want to state that if, because I know there's a lot of people here and I know people have some, have busy schedules and everything. So if you want to stay, everybody is more than welcome to stay. But, I mean, if you don't want to stay, if you could just sneak out quietly, that's fine. I don't want anybody to feel obligated and miss any meetings or anything. We, also got a late start and everything, so please don't feel like you have to stay. But like I said, everybody is welcome to stay. All right, next up, Venture House.
Marie, can I just stop still? I'm just reading this again, it seems. Just one small question. Where do they get the vouchers to get the free admission?
Oh, what was the question?
Where do you get the vouchers so people could get the free admission?
Oh, we would support the family in gaining the ACS or HRA voucher.
ACS? Okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
But if they don't have that, we'll support them in gaining it. If they already have it, we accept it.
Is this,
ACS should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
just, sorry, just to follow up, I know I called, is this a UPK program or no, it's different?
It's
Okay.
not, right, because it's not associated with the DOE.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry, Venture House, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm here with Norman Bailey, the CFO of Venture House. I'm Juliette Douglas. Venture House is a community-based nonprofit mental health agency. We serve adults who are living with serious mental illness, and we use the Clubhouse model. The Clubhouse model is the most cost-effective and humane approach to helping people with mental illness to recover, to helping them get access to employment, education, stable housing, civic engagement, and the arts. And we have been in Queens for 37 years. We opened our second location on Staten Island on Castleton Avenue in 2017. What we know is that about 5% of the population worldwide lives with serious mental illness. And that amounts to about 25,000 Staten Islanders. We also know that over half the population of homeless people have a mental illness that's been undiagnosed, untreated. And we also know that those very same people, when they have resources and opportunity, can make a substantial positive impact on their communities. And Venture House is that community. So our members work side by side with our staff to run daily operations. That's everything from intake and admissions to program planning and development. They are involved in decision-making at every level of the organization, including in the hiring of staff and even serving on our board of directors. And the city, we're funded by DOHMH. We can tell you that a full year of Clubhouse membership is equivalent to a mere 2 weeks in a psychiatric hospital. And the city opted to invest $30 million in the expansion of Clubhouse services across the boroughs because they see us as a key, essential, we play an essential role in meeting the goals of the district initiative, which is to reduce Medicaid expenditures by 25%. So, and how do we do that? Well, have, a psychiatrist might write a script and then not see that patient for several weeks or months. But at the clubhouse, we have our eyes and ears open to that individual. We know when they're doing well, we know when they're struggling, and we are able to connect them with needed supports before they spiral into a crisis state. And we have been awarded, due to our exemplary performance, Venture House was awarded in this expansion program contracts to open clubhouses in Brooklyn and the Bronx, in addition to expanding our levels of service on Staten Island. We have been leasing a space on Castleton Avenue since 2017. Our membership is growing, we are bursting at the seams. We were negotiating with the landlord to purchase the property. He was asking $2.2 million for it. It took us a few years to be able to have the potential for that. And then when we negotiated with him, he was no longer interested in 2.2. And so we knew we had to look elsewhere. And we had the amazing good fortune of finding this available space across the street in this majestic building, the Bank. So what we were able to acquire some discretionary funding from the state office, from Assemblyman Charles Hall, and we are able to put that down to get a mortgage, and so we can cover the purchase of this property comfortably. But what we need is to build it out to suit our program services. And that requires installation of a commercial kitchen, 30 or 40 feet, because our members, working side by side with our staff, are cooking meals every day. And we have several kinds of programming that we offer. We have a media center, art studio. We publish newsletters, which you'll see in the packet. That's our latest one. We have an education and employment unit. We're helping people get jobs, practice interviewing skills, do job searches, write resumes. We have internships for nursing students, social workers. So we need to configure the space. So the space we're currently in, which we are outgrowing, is about 8,000 square feet. And the bank here is 11,000, but it needs to be reconfigured so that it has a flow through the clubhouse that's, protects safety and, we have a basic budget for legal fees, appraisal fees, closing costs, architecture and engineering, and then the renovation costs. And what we're asking for is $3.1 million to complete that total process. We are expanding our levels of service. We are going to have at least 350 active members of the club. The location here is perfectly situated because it's on every single transportation line, and we can tell you that those people that you pass by in the subways and the terminals and the streets, that's our population. We know when they come into the clubhouse, they do a lot better. They're actually making policy with us. So this is the biggest bang for your buck, and we will be supporting the community needs here and elsewhere on Staten Island. We are very successful. If you go to our website, you'll see firsthand and you'll hear firsthand from the members themselves. The members are with us, and ordinarily we would have them here. Yesterday they went up to Albany for Lobby Day, and we're very successful in lobbying for mental health funding. Any questions?
Yes, so I have one, we could probably talk maybe afterwards. For this capital, being that you're non-city owned, there's a capital application that has to be filled out. Did you guys do it by any chance?
We're in the process of doing it for the March 20th deadline.
Oh, the problem is that the March 20th deadline is for the city council. The borough president's deadline was February 24th, I think. So, our deadline, because we have to, the council passes at adoption, we pass before our budget goes beforehand. All right, let's talk afterwards, because there's a lot of particulars involved and everything. So I don't know, maybe we could see if I would be able to give you an extension. I don't know if that'll be the case or not, but Okay, let's talk after the meeting, okay? Okay. Any board members have any questions? Joan, do you have any questions? You're muted. Oh, okay. All right, let's just,
Hello?
oh,
Hello?
Joan, hi, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. So Venture House, I know is a very good program. I've seen their work through ACS and HRA. I want to ask the question, do they strictly stick to substance abuse and mental health? And I see in their expansion, it's the same, and also crime, criminal justice. Have they ever given a thought to helping domestic violence victims, which is some of the largest secretive things that they have a problem with on Staten Island?
Well, you know, in our opinion, every single person can benefit from clubhouse membership. We are charged with serving a particular community through DOH&H, the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. I can say that people with trauma, we've actually expanded the net, casting a wider net on who is eligible for membership, and that includes people with PTSD. So we have, you know, a large veteran population, and, you know, those who are victim of domestic violence certainly would fit that category. So I guess the answer is yes to that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, just for the board members, crosswalk is next on your agenda, but Donna is sick today, so she didn't want to affect anybody, but it's in your packets, her testimony, so we'll be skipping her. Next, Victoria, you're up for Alice Austin.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time. The Alice Austin House, and if you don't know it, I'm sure you do, we are a historic house. We're one of New York's 23 historic houses. We also have a 15-acre public park on the Staten Island waterfront near the Verrazano Bridge. We are so grateful to the Borough President and the Staten Island City Council members for supporting our meaningful, historic, photographic, and educational programming. These programs allow Staten Islanders of any demographic to learn through the example of notable Staten Island resident and photographer Alice Austin. Alice was born in 1866 and died in 1952. 2024 was a very productive year for the Alice Austin House and Park public programs. We partnered with the New York Restoration Project and City Parks Foundation to provide horticultural workshops and renew planting activities in our park. We provided structured events for poets, dancers, and visual artists to present their work. Importantly, we were able to present 6 outdoor exhibitions of Staten Island photographers with the support of Borough President funds. In addition to the outdoor programs, AAH mounted 3 major exhibitions in 2024. Anne Shelton, a photographic exploration into the historical relationships of women and plants, which was accompanied by the launch of the Alice Austin Press. This is our first major venture into publishing, and we published a 312-page book, which has received 2 major awards. We invited our first Southeast Asian artist, Supranath Dash, to present a summer solo exhibition, and completed a 2-year research project with artist Evan Paul English, investigating the importance of Austin's scrapbook collections, which was also helped a lot by Historic Richmond Town's archives. And it culminated in a new wallpaper design and installation for the dining room, and a new full suite of paintings based on the scrapbook imagery. The museum is proud to continue to provide education and creative arts programming to over 5,000 NYC school students through our arts program, and the City Council's Cultural Immigrant Initiative, Cultural After School Adventures, Coalition of Theatres of Colour initiatives, which is secured by Councilmember Hanks and David Carr. We are working with South Shore students in 2025 with the support of Councilmember Borelli. We have also just launched a brand new arts education offering in the form of a mobile classroom. In response to recent art program cuts in schools, the Alice Austin House has acquired a former mobile food pantry from Community Health Action of Staten Island. We have completely rebranded and set it up as an alternative image lab that can be driven directly to schools on Staten Island. We piloted this program successfully with PS 59, teaching every single grade in the school. This year, Borough President funding would once again support an outdoor installation opening on June 3rd in partnership with Photoville NYC. This will provide a platform for Staten Island photographers to display their work outdoors during our park's busiest season of public programs. The AAH will host outdoor lectures and digital slideshows to accompany this installation. It will consist of 4 cubes located on our lawn. They're very large, with printed photographs in weatherproof vinyl displayed in the park, with 2 banners also, which will be displayed for 3 months at Midland Beach on the boardwalk. I just had a meeting yesterday with Photoville, and they have approved my curatorial vision for this year's exhibitions. We had a really, really amazing response to an open call for this, and one of the groups that we've often worked with in our park is Lifestyles for the Disabled, and so many of their students actually submitted photographic work because it's one of their enrichment programs, and I'm just thrilled that we're going to be able to produce a banner of that student work for the boardwalk. At our site this year, we're pivoting slightly because it's actually our 40th anniversary of the Alice Austin House being open as a museum. So we're going to produce 4 cubes of different themes in Austin's work. So often, we are her namesake and we have a permanent exhibition that's on display in the house, but a lot of people don't cross that threshold. So bringing her work into the outdoor space is going to be really amazing for us this year, and it will really highlight the historical significance of her work. We'll be focused on her documentation of the harborfront, her documentation of NYC immigration history, Staten Island history, and then of course the house as artist studio, muse, and just such an important piece of Staten Island history. So I'm so thrilled that I was able to bring that to this meeting. And our request to City Council members for FY25 is to provide women's history programming, cultural immigration workshops, theatre workshops, after-school arts programming, and importantly, continue our LGBTQ+ programming for Staten Island public school students in each district. The museum's board and staff are proud to serve the community in ensuring the legacy of Alice Austin is known to Staten Islanders and to preserve this landmark treasure in partnership with New York City Parks Department. I extend a warm invitation to all to the museum for time tours and to enjoy our spring and summer public programming, which includes our spring exhibition titled One Day by artists Marlene McCarthy and Donald Moffat. And that's opening this Saturday, actually, at 1 p.m. So thank you all for your time.
I just have one question.
Yes.
So with the Borough President funding request, so it's opening on June 3rd
Yeah.
and running for 3 months. I assume you'll have all the bills and stuff you'll be able to get them to us before that. Like there won't be any lingering bills that go past the fiscal year, because then, we can't.
I have to pay the bills.
Ahead of time, right?
In April.
Yeah, I assume that would be
It's
the
all the
case.
production.
Yeah, I assume that would be the case, but I just wanted to make sure, so.
100%.
Okay. Angie?
Yeah, so this starts on June 3rd. The fiscal year ends June 30th.
Yes.
And even if you prepay the bills
Yeah.
for that 3 months, we can only pay up to June 30th.
That's
So
right.
any exhibition, say July 1st, we can pay for.
So we'd have to prorate it.
That's correct.
Okay.
Because the production costs of these cubes, they cost $3,000 per cube.
Okay, all right, so then
it's
there's more than.
significantly more cost
Yeah,
to the
okay.
Alice Austin House than even, usually what we're awarded.
Okay, okay, all right. So we'll be, if not, we can, always work out something else.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any members of the board have any questions? Joni? Joan, you're muted.
Thanks, I couldn't get it up. It's all good, it's a great program.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I love that you guys are working with lifestyles too, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, next up, Anne, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Constructive Partnership Unlimited.
Right, which is United Cerebral Palsy. We have been on the island for 80 years, and we brought the first people out of Willowbrook and into our residences. We still have at our day hab and at our residences living people from Willowbrook. Now, we have a long history. We take care of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We have a day hab, we have many programs, and we have many programs that even reach out to the community. But what I'm honing in on now is a renovation for one of our group homes, which was built in 1994. There hasn't been any renovations to this building. Now, the population that resides there, they're aging, bodies are changing, and the house really is not accommodating for their needs. We want to renovate the kitchen and make it ADL accessible so that the people in wheelchairs can now actually function in the kitchen, start doing different activities, so making it accessible for them to cook, to wash dishes, etc. We need a bathroom renovation. The bathroom is really antiquated, and we need to put more state-of-the-art adaptable equipment in the bathrooms. The front entrance, there are issues with our ramps. Our ramps are not totally accessible because what has happened over the years, wheelchairs have changed, they've evolved, we have more sophisticated electric wheelchairs, people have gained weight, and the entrance is very hard to navigate to get the people from the front into the building. So we need a total renovation of all of the access points. The roof needs to be replaced. That has not been replaced in over 20 years. The mechanical systems, the boiler, that all needs to be replaced to have a functioning house. And the interior lighting, a lot of the lighting and a lot of the plumbing needs to be replaced. And we have other houses that will also need renovations, but this one is the one that we have the most issues with. And in order for people to live productive, healthy, happy lives, they need to have a residence with accessibility. Things have changed. There are so many different devices that can be used for individuals, and the house needs to be able to accommodate whatever new equipment that there is. We have a certain program called the MOVE program with equipment that actually will allow people in wheelchairs to stand, sometimes take steps. It's a little bit life-changing and life-saving. The house doesn't have room right now to accommodate any of the more sophisticated equipment. So we are asking for money to renovate this house, to make it ADL adaptable, to make it more state-of-the-art for what individuals with disabilities need, and to ensure their quality of life. And there's a lot more I can say about the organization, but I just wanted to hone in on the reason why I'm here and the house that really needs a lot of help.
Okay. Question. So a lot of these seem like they could possibly be capital improvements, and once again, because this isn't a city property, there's a non-city process that would have to go through. Maybe if we took one aspect of it, we could get it to work under the expense guidelines and everything, because as I mentioned, the capital application was due already, and it's not our application. It's administered by the Office of Management and Budget, and Kathy, who's sitting, Grace is doing one right now, so we have to work through them. They go, they vet it, and then they tell us if it is okay, if you know, if it's approved, if they approve it, and then, you know, we go from there, but, hopefully there's something
Well,
we
maybe
can
we
find
can
there.
hone in on the interior lighting and the
Yeah, I mean,
facelift.
that would
You know,
probably be a
and I don't know if we could hone in on the roof.
Yeah, the roof usually, I mean, depending on the cost and depending, but, you know, we'll find something.
Okay, yeah, because there, you know, there are a few different things, so whatever it is, it would be a help.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna depend on the cost and everything.
And the equipment,
Yes.
you know, maybe,
Yeah,
I don't
equipment
have
we
the
can do.
equipment
Yeah, I mean,
listed.
there's something that we
Yeah,
can,
because
I'm
the
sure we can
equipment,
find.
that equipment with, you know, specific for people, you know, to get upright, it ranges from $3,000 to $10,000 per piece.
Oh, that's the one for the people to stand
Right,
and,
and there, we also have devices, and we're the only agency in the city of New York that has this equipment. The public schools have it for the young children, but as far as adults, because we take care of people 18 and throughout their entire lifetime. So that equipment is life-changing.
and what did you, because I don't know, can you spell it for me?
Well, it's, the abbreviation is M.O.V.E.
Oh, move, okay.
Right,
I'm glad I asked you for clarification, because I wrote moot.
right. And you know,
What
when
you
you
said.
get out of a wheelchair and you're upright, it's life-saving because
I think it's
it
incredible.
helps with aspiration, digestion, respiration. And humans, we are designed to be upright and walk. Our organs are designed to function that way. And when they're not, internally we start deteriorating. And as this population ages, they get more frail. All of their systems start breaking down a little bit. A lot of them have started out with us just eating regular food, and now some are on G-tubes, some are on puree. So standing, this equipment, and having more accessibility in the houses for this equipment is life-changing. And it's also life-changing because just the fact that someone could stand up, look you in the eye, you know, their quality of life, the smiles are pretty amazing.
Does anybody have any on the board members?
Yes,
Joan?
I do.
Yes.
No. Hi, I just have, well, two questions. Number one, you do one house at a time or one location at a time?
Well, we have 3 renovations that we need to happen, but right now we are starting on one at a time because it's a huge project.
Okay, and number two, do you have a lot of houses or renovations that you've done on Staten Island? I see you're a New York-based.
Oh, no, Staten Island, Joan, we have 13 residences spanning from the Verrazano to the Outer Bridge. We own the houses, it is our property, and we have a day rehabilitation center on Forest Avenue, which provides, it's a combination of school, therapy, recreation, and this, whatever we ask for, I represent Staten Island, so whatever we ask for, it is specifically going to be used for Staten Island.
Oh, okay, and,
Yeah, the other boroughs take care of
you don't
themselves.
answer my other question. Owning the house, when you, take on a house that you're gonna renovate, they have to turn over the house to you as the ownership?
I didn't quite get the question.
When you accept a home or something for renovation, does the home have to be turned over, does a deed and have to
Oh,
be turned over?
Joan, these are houses they already own that are being that are currently being operated as group homes. And it's just time for them to renovate, be renovated.
I mean, this particular house was built in 1994.
That's my next question, I'll be group homes, yeah. Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ann.
You're welcome.
Okay, up next is Sundog. Susan, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. My name is Susan Kelly, I'm the Executive Director and co-founder of Sundog Theater. We've made it to our 23rd year today. As an arts organization, we're very proud of that, and we're going strong. As some of you know, we do theater throughout Staten Island. It's contemporary and original. Excuse me. We do, a lot of what we do is Staten Island centric. We've done shows about Alice Austin, about Snug Harbor, Antonio Meucci. It's about the complete history of Staten Island and Bridge. And we do Scenes from the Ferry, original play We tour shows throughout New York City and sometimes the tri-state area on topics like bullying, prescription drug abuse, smoking, Ellis Island, different topics that are educational and also social issues. We have through our, last year in 2024, we have through our touring company and our theater company reached almost 14,000 people in this borough. We also have senior arts programs, and we have acting classes for kids from 9 to 17 years old. Most of what we do, however, is bring teaching artists into schools to supplement what kids are learning through the arts. And we love teaching dances from throughout the world to kids from K through 12. We love teaching them music programs, whether they create them or they sing them. And we have mural programs where kids beautify the school, and among many, many other different things in theater, dance, music, and visual arts. These days, though, a lot of the schools are asking for programs that supplement what they're learning. In other words, they're learning through the arts. So we've transformed a lot of our programs into something that makes learning come alive through the arts. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a few of these. One is called 3D literacy, which we have in 10 schools now. The COVID learning losses were substantial, and teachers even tell us that now kids are 1 to 2 years behind because of those learning losses, and a lot of them are in literacy. Kids are having a hard time reading, so we have a program that we've developed after research on how the brain learns best and remembers. It's been developed by one of our teaching artists. It's called 3D literacy, and it literally brings literacy to life. It helps with reading comprehension, helps with vocabulary, with punctuation, and it helps kids socialize as well, because some of this stuff doesn't always work. It's second and third grades. We're doing the program right now in the North Shore and in Mid-Island. And we've also added a component this year called behavioral literacy, which takes the form of 3 full-day PDs with all the teachers that are participating in the schools, so that they can learn different ways of teaching behavior rather than managing it all day long. Once you teach it, this program is phenomenal. We had one teacher in PS 16 say, I've been teaching for 20 years and I've never seen anything as effective as this. So it's worked really well. That's a brand new program this past year. We're currently teaching 880 kids and 63 teachers in these programs. Smart Money Kids is another program we're doing, and this is an entrepreneurial program where kids in 5th grade get to form their own companies. They form groups of 5. They select a product to sell, whether it's a product that they make themselves or a product they source from local artists. They've designed keychains, they've designed mugs and cups and soaps and T-shirts and things like that. And what they do is they develop marketing plans, they write jingles, they write marketing slogans, they take their own commercials and talking about their products. And at the end of the 15-week program, the parents come in, we give them funny money from Monopoly, and after the kids explain how they work together and how they form their company and their product, they're so well spoken on these because they're so engaged. The parents get to shop, so they shop and buy the products with the funny money that the kids have created. They're so proud, and some of them are like, I'm going to start my own business. These are 5th graders. So we're just really excited about this program. And these 2 programs and the couple that I'm going to talk about are programs where the kids are taking the arts and they're combining them with the actual core subjects, so that it's making learning come alive for them. It's making it relevant. We have one called Journey Through Time, where kids act out parts of history so that they become these characters. And instead of something that happened hundreds of years ago, these programs are happening right now. Sorry, I get choked up about this because it works so well. Their history is happening for them right now, so they don't just understand what happened hundreds of years ago, they understand why it happened and how it affects people. So it's something that they remember. The testing is sort of almost secondary, but they remember the information for the tests. And also, it makes history more relevant to them right now for their own lives. And the last program I'm going to tell you about, among And then they create a 26-page newsletter, full color, for the entire school to see. And it's, they write the articles, they are guided to, don't just take pictures of trash cans, take pictures of things that are actually happening. They go around the school, they have reporter tags. So this is a way we've been making learning come alive for kids. And we've asked for money from all three council districts and the borough president's office to supplement these programs that are really, really helping kids learn not only the arts, but their core subjects. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. I don't have any questions, I'm familiar with these. I've actually had a child participate in the newspaper program, and I thought it was fantastic. Does anybody have any questions on the board? Joan,
I'm here.
do you have any questions for Sundog?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, up next, Eileen from Modest.
Hi, I just want to thank all of you for putting this all together for us. It's so helpful for us that we need so much. I'm representing Modest Community Services, which is a small minority-run organization, and they're committed to the belief that each person has the potential for growth and personal development, regardless of a disability. They provide services for people with disabilities that include residential services, Medicare service coordination, recreational, day and day rehabilitation support, vocational opportunities, and life skills. Currently, they are renting supportive apartments for their individuals. You can imagine how costly that is. So therefore, the decision was made to buy a residential house, to house 8 people that they have. And we are currently looking at houses to see which best suits their needs. And so we came up with a few of them, and we will be choosing one very soon. They are asking for money for this house to help them on their way towards getting them out of their apartment and paying so much money so they can consolidate that money and put it into the programs and services that these people would truly need and depend on. So that's what I'm here today to ask for. Short and sweet, they would love help with their purchase of a residential home.
Okay, so back to the non-city owned capital. This would have to be something that would be submitted. The deadline passed for that, but technically, because you haven't identified a property yet, you wouldn't have been eligible to apply this year anyway. You're gonna have to apply for next year's, because, when you apply, it's supposed to be that, you have the identified house, and because without that, there's technically not a proposal for them to review. So, the application normally comes out at the end of December, beginning of January, so, when that comes out, that will be, what they'll have to do for that. And then we could meet afterwards and discuss further.
Yeah, unfortunately, they are looking to act on this soon, very soon, and not wait until December. So would it be a way of them actually getting this house and then getting reimbursed or something?
I don't know if the house is already purchased yet, but let's say that I'm sure that there's probably gonna need some upgrades or something like that, or some equipment for the house. So while we probably couldn't, like I said, we don't have control over this when it's non-city owned. The application goes to the Office of Management and Budget, and then they're the ones that review it to see if it's eligible, and there's different types of criteria and everything. We just assist with the process, like, let's say that there's something, that the application isn't complete, or there's something that's missing from it, then they contact us, and then we reach out to you to try to get your application in compliance. But then they have to sign off on it before we can fund something. So I don't know if they would accept something after the fact. However, I do know that, like, the renovations and everything else, that would be fine to apply for and everything.
Okay, Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, so for the board members, AmeriCorps, Tammy had a family emergency, so she is not going to be attending. We will, get you testimony from her when, she returns. So next up is Jessica Phillips. She is representing all of the Staten Island culturals. You have the floor.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks for hosting this. It's really nice to see the fellow nonprofit culturals and service organizations. I'm Jessica Phillips from Historic Richmond Town. I'm also the vice chair of the Staten Island Cultural Institution Groups, which is it's made up of Snug Harbor Cultural Center and Botanical Garden, Staten Island Museum, Staten Island Children's Museum, Staten Island Zoo, and Historic Richmond Town. So I'm here today speaking on behalf of all five. Together, we serve as a piece of the cultural backbone of Staten Island, and we provide essential education, recreational, and cultural services to our borough and beyond. So collectively, our institutions serve about 800,000 visitors a year. And we're not just places to visit, we're an integral community hub that fosters learning, connection, and cultural preservation. So we help build communities like you all do to ensure a higher quality of life Staten Islanders have come to cherish and people move here for. So in fiscal 2026, the need for sustained and increased funding is more critical than ever. Like everyone, our institutions are facing rising operational costs from maintaining historic sites and caring for live animal exhibits to ensuring our facilities are accessible and safe for all visitors. So despite these challenges, we've continued to keep our missions alive and healthy, serving collectively almost 140,000 students a year. And we offer, all five of us offer free and low-cost events for thousands of people, families, and we employ about 100 people full-time. So, moreover, who puts moreover in a testimony? Five of us put this together. Our institutions play a vital role in community resilience. So during times of crisis, like a pandemic or natural disasters, we provide educational resources, safe spaces, and community support. We also contribute to the borough's economic vitality, attracting tourism and fostering local business partnerships. I can't tell you how much money we have collectively contributed to scaring. So we all have large HVACs. You can imagine Snug's HVAC system is massive. We respectfully urge continued investment in Staten Island culture. Your support ensures that we can continue to improve the quality of life for Staten Islanders, keeping our multi-generational community vibrant, safe, and growing. And here's what the individual five have to say for themselves. So Staten Island Children's Museum is a premier learning destination serving 106,000 visitors annually. As a hub for hands-on education, it plays a critical role in early childhood learning and school readiness, integrating STEM and arts, cooking, and social studies into dynamic play-based experiences. After a 5-month closure and a $6.5 million HVAC upgrade funded by the city, the museum reopened in January, and attendance has soared. Their first month, they saw over 7,000 people, and that's about a 15% increase from February of last year. This overwhelming response highlights the demand for high-quality educational spaces for Staten Island families. The Children's Museum distributes annually about 2,000 arts kits to 3K and pre-K students, and it encourages young learners across the island access to creativity and early learning opportunities. Now the museum is preparing to bring its most significant exhibit expansion in years, which my children are very excited about, creating new experiences that bring Staten Island's history, geography, and culture to life. The first is the Big Climb. It features interactive role-playing, hands-on activities, and a 3-story climbing structure modeled after Staten Island bridges, helping children explore the borough's people, places, and past. The Fishing Pier. It's teaching children about Staten Island's maritime history and ecology, reinforcing STEM learning through environmental science and engineering. And the Green Screen, allowing children to step into the magic of special effects in TV and film. The Children's Museum ensures that 30% of all visitors receive free or reduced admission. With visitor numbers exceeding pre-closure levels, continued investment is critical to sustaining this growth. City support ensures that thousands of children across the borough have access to high-quality, hands-on learning experiences that inspire curiosity, creativity, and a lifelong love of learning. Next, the Staten Island Museum. It provides interdisciplinary exhibitions, educational programs, and community events working with more than 60 community partner organizations. In 2024, SIM opened the exhibit Taking Care, the Black Angels of Seaview Hospital, to highlight the internationally important history that took place right in our borough, including community member Virginia Allen, who helped cure tuberculosis as one of these nurses. SIM's new exhibition, Breakdown, The Promise of Decay, showcases artists' work to look at the role of decomposition in the life cycle, helping people understand what breaks down and what doesn't. Spoiler alert, it's microplastics. Founded in 1881, the museum's collection encompasses over 1 million items spanning art, science, and history. SIM employs 14 full-time and 9 part-time staff to deliver public exhibitions, education, and community programs that reach 30,000 visitors a year and 7,500 community program participants annually. A major focus of SIM's school programs that serve 13,000 students, 45% of which are from Title I schools, through field trips, in-class lessons, and CASA programs. SIM is underway in planning an innovative STEM education center expansion, reactivating a currently vacant landmark building into a 21st century museum experience. Students and visitors of all ages will participate in hands-on STEAM activities interwoven with displays of natural science collections. SIM is at a key juncture for a new capital management program from the Department of Design and Construction called CM Build. I don't know if you guys have heard of it yet, but it says that will save significant time and money in the construction process. So if you've ever been part of a city capital project, you know it takes a great long time. Next is the Staten Island Zoo. Thank you everybody for your patience as I go through these different groups. Was the first U.S. zoo to be founded with an educational mission, a guiding principle that underscores our efforts to educate and engage over 175,000 visitors every year. Dubbed the best little zoo in America, our specialized exhibits bring guests up close to over 152 animals and 231 species. The zoo cares for over 40 endangered species, including the Amur leopard, the cotton-top tamarin, and the Galapagos tortoise. The zoo's educational programs are greatly in demand by principals, teachers, and parents. I can attest to that. Approximately 40,000 students currently participate in formal instruction at the zoo. The programs continue to grow with more and more students involved with STEM and environmental studies. The zoo also has earned a designation as a sensory-friendly institution. With the strong support of Borough President Vito Vasella and council members Joe Borelli, David Carr, and Camilla Hanks, the zoo has embarked on its most ambitious project in decades, a completely reimagined closed road entrance and state-of-the-art trail experience called Forest Trek. Portraying a child's eye view of a forest walk, guests will enjoy animal exhibits and interactive nature play zones for children. A habitat will be created for the red pandas, a beloved and adorable species that will surely bring additional visitors and attention to our zoo. Continuing its dedication to young learners, the zoo is currently seeking funding for a redesign of its popular children's center. This project is called Sensation Station and envisioned as a sensory-themed nature play and animal encounter zone, which will be enjoyed by children of all developmental abilities and sensory tolerances. Snug Harbor Cultural Center Botanical Garden is an expansive cultural park on Staten Island where arts, nature, education, and history unite to bring dynamic programming, events, and festivals to our diverse community. Snug Harbor offers a blend of what is artful, human, and cultural with nature, space, beauty, and community for all the naturally curious from our Staten Island home and beyond. The results of one of the largest adaptive reuse projects in America. Snug Harbor turned a 19th century charitable rest home for sailors into a vibrant hub of contemporary culture and community connection, resiliency, sustainability, and discovery. They really do it all. Today we aim to build a more culturally connected, thriving community through pursuit of our mission, which is to create a vibrant culture park on Staten Island, providing visual and performing arts, natural space, a historic site, classes across disciplines, lively festival, and diversity of events for all. Snug Harbor's uniqueness welcomes over 500,000 visitors annually to experience multiple museums, performances, festivals, gardens, a farm, and 83 acres of gardens, parkland, woodland, and wetland. Last but not least, I promise, you guys are wonderful, thank you, is historic Richmond Town. So with over 100 acres across 4 properties throughout Staten Island with over 38 historic structures, historic Richmond Town is Staten Island's history home. We welcomed record-breaking attendance, expanding community engagement last year. The general paid visitorship went up by 38%. and we reached nearly 4,000 school kids in person in October alone. We made significant progress in our mission to preserve Staten Island history. Restoration efforts were completed on key historic structures, including the Parsonage, Bohm House, and the Bennett House, ensuring the longevity of our shared history. We opened a significant exhibition called Discover Greatness, Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, which highlighted the heroic and skillful history of the players. We hired a new curator, a Great Hills native, Gabriella Leone, who is planning to open 2 exhibits this year using artifacts from our 60,000 plus collection. The first exhibit will display dozens of vintage antique postcards highlighting the different neighborhoods on Staten Island. And the second exhibit, which will open, I think, in August, we have over 600 pairs of shoes. So it'll be displaying women's shoes from the 1700s up into the 1980s. Our educational programs continue to enrich thousands of students annually, from sold-out school tours to innovative new initiatives like the High School Apprentice Program and Talks of the Town lecture series. We are actively shaping the next generation of historians and engaged citizens. Our festivals, including our annual fundraiser, the Richmond County Fair, which itself brings over 10,000 people to our campus, share the spirit of community and togetherness. And in conclusion, the 5 Staten Island CIGs are a vital resource to our borough and city, providing essential services to children, families, and seniors of all income levels every day. We are key drivers of economic development in our communities, drawing existing and new residents, businesses, and tourists. We are where Staten Islanders have their first encounter with visual and performing arts, meet animals from around the world, soak up our history and natural environment, celebrate life's milestones with parties, weddings, and prom photos, and of course, walk your dogs. We ask your support and advocacy to protect and secure the city funding that is crucial to our daily operations. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. I think, me, myself, I have a fair grasp on all the cultural, so I'm not going to, after all of that, keep you talk any longer. Angie, and anybody else? Good? Okay.
Great job, Jessica, you took the wind right out of me.
Thanks, Joe. Okay. Next up, we have the Pride Center, Manny Rivera. You guys are coming off of a fantastic weekend with the parade and everything, so.
Thank you.
You have the floor.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Manny Rivera. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm going to be reading a testimony on behalf of our Executive Director, Carol Bullock. She does send her warm regards. The Pride Center Staten Island is seeking $10,000 in funding from the borough's president's office to support ongoing provisions of mental health counseling services for LGBTQ+ and allied Staten Islanders. According to the healthypeoples.gov, the lack of sexual orientation and gender identity questions on most national and state surveys make it difficult to estimate the number of LGBTQ+ individuals and their health needs. The research that does exist suggests that LGBTQ+ community is faced with many health disparities, many of which are linked to social stigma, discrimination, and denial of their civil and human rights. LGBTQIA+ community centers like the Pride Center Staten Island have been identified as protective factors against these disparities. The Pride Center's programs and services will benefit the Staten Island community by providing a welcoming environment where LGBTQIA+ and allied individuals can be open about their identities and access resources that will help them thrive. The Pride Center of Staten Island is the cornerstone for Staten Island's LGBTQIA+ individuals, families, and allies. There are nearly 500,000 people living on Staten Island, and the Pride Center of Staten Island is the only LGBTQI+ program and service provider. The Pride Center offers counseling services for individuals, couples, and families, programming for youth and seniors, an HIV prevention program which includes free and confidential HIV testing, and multi-generational social events and activities, such as the Staten Island Pride Fest celebrations. Mental health counseling services for LGBTQI+ and allied Staten Islanders is one of our most utilized services at the Pride Center. Over the past several years, demanding for counseling services has increased steadily. Between June 30th of 2024 and September 30th of 2024, The Pride Center Staten Island provided 140 counseling sessions for individuals, couples, and families. Between October 1st, 2024 and January 31st of 2025, the Pride Center Staten Island provided 210 counseling services for individuals, couples, and families. This represents a 50% increase in the provision of counseling services at the Pride Center Staten Island. In an effort to meet this increased demand and eliminate the waiting list for counseling services, the Pride Center added a second full-time counselor on the team. Unfortunately, demand remains high and the agency has not been able to eliminate the waiting list. With this funding, it will enable the agency to bring on additional support to meet the needs of the community. The provision of the mental health counseling services is one of the ways in which the Pride Center of Staten Island carries out its mission to enhance and sustain the well-being of LGBTQIA+ and allied communities. The Pride Center is confident that the proposed project aligns with your commitment to the health needs of vulnerable populations on Staten Island. Investment from the Borough, and the city in programs and services that serve LGBTQIA+ allies and Staten Islanders send an important message that Staten Island is an inclusive and welcoming borough. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Maddie? Joan? Any questions for the Pride Center?
Just congratulations on the parade and everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Angie.
Okay. The additional support, do you mean an employee or a consultant for the counseling?
We do tend to look for an employee, whereas we already have one full-time licensed social worker as well as 2 mental health practitioners, and we're looking to hire a part-time mental health practitioner or part-time social worker.
Yes, so the city council can do salaries. We can't do salaries, but in the past, we have supplemented this program because we've paid for one of the therapists that you have as a consultant. So we can continue to do that, we just cannot pay for a salary. But like I said, the city council is able to pay for salaries. The borough president cannot because of the way that our budget is structured. But like I said, we can continue, we can, I'm sure find something and work at something out.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Up next is Staten Island Ballet. Paul, you have the floor.
Thank you, and these are very hard acts to follow. I'll advance quickly through this. 33 years ago, a group of 5 educators, artists, and officials founded the Staten Island Ballet because we didn't really have one. Today, we are in a seafood farm colony in an innovative old laboratory with a cure for TB was discovered, and it's now 2 state-of-the-art dance studios. We have a small 40-seat theater for dance, restrooms, 3 restrooms. They're very important, and as we know now, and we've been providing education, arts education in world-class artists in the community for 33 years. What we need is a real theater, but we do have 2 great theaters in the island. We don't have our own, it's too small, but we're not asking for that. We're looking for continuation of our programs. Our first program originally was because of dance goes across all demographics and ages. It travels well. It was dancing over walls, which is reaching children, young kids, challenged, economically challenged, socially challenged backgrounds and so on, for free training. And it worked, it was a hit. And so we have grown and now have a faculty of accomplished artists. This last 2 weeks ago, we were joined by a director of the program at Dance Theater Borough. Credits of our faculty, very good here. Sorry, Paris Opera Ballet, and several others. I don't want to waste the time with all that, but it's a very good program because we have all our students. Let me just give you by the numbers instead of going by this. We've had 390 9,140 audience members. Students who trained, 3,289, this is over our 3 decades. 16 of the students attended the Ivy League colleges because of their dance skills. And annual college scholarships every year because of the students' dance skills range from $20,000 to $60,000 to help them get into the college experience. 75 other students were accepted in the acclaimed dance program with New York City Ballet, American Ballet Theater, Albanese, and others. And we created 764 original productions and performance events, hired 1,378 dancers, artists, and musicians. We generated $13 million directly to the local arts economy, and $19 million by the NYC and Code data. 137 original dance works presented, and we give away annually 400 or 500 tickets, and over 33 years, there's 22,625 free tickets given to the public to help them in their cultural richness. The council and the elected officials have been supportive of these programs, and we hope that we continue in FY '26. So I think we should move on. Does that clear up anything? Any questions about that?
Okay, I'm fine with that. Does any board members have any questions for Paul?
Thank you for your patience. You're very patient, Dave.
Joan, do you have any questions for Staten Island Ballet?
No, I'm good.
Thank you, John.
Okay. Meals on Wheels also had an issue, so they are not here. So up next, we have the Grace Foundation, Kathy and Debbie, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you so much. You have my packet, and we have various projects, but I wanted to go over the overview, and I think everybody knows the Grace Foundation's mission is to enhance the lives of individuals with autism and their families by providing comprehensive support services, educational programs, vocational training, and community engagement opportunities. We're dedicated to fostering inclusion, independence, personal growth through innovative initiatives that empower individuals with autism to reach their fullest potential. We serve during the day about 50 day hub participants, and over the week, hundreds of participants, I don't know the exact number, through its respite programs. With 74% of Staten Islanders with disabilities unemployed, and city funding for programs serving individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities declining by 82% over the past 2 decades. We're committed to addressing these crises through vocational training and social enterprises. So with that, I broke down a few projects we're working on, and one of them we're happy to say we're breaking another world record. So on April 2nd, World Autism Day, we plan on taking our van and putting 12,000 autism awareness ribbons all over the van, because the record right now is 8,000. 12,000 would definitely crush that record. Of course, we're going to be putting it out there for everybody to know about, maybe to support and come and put a ribbon on a car. Driving it around the entire month of April during Autism Awareness. It's important because it still needs to be out there, and that's the way we advocate, and it gets our participants involved, it gets our community involved. So that was one of the projects. Of course, I think everybody now knows Down on the Street. Down on the Street, we partnered with the Staten Island Media Group and about 30 local restaurants where chefs teach participants how to prepare signature dishes in an interactive format. It's on Staten Island Live. It gives our kids great exposure to culinary exposure, leading participants towards hands-on experience with the Grace Garden that we're working on, our food truck, which we are purchasing this week, and our kitchen training center. So that's funding we may need for that. The vegetable garden we have right now at Grace, it's all set and done, but unfortunately, one day we looked and our deer ate everything. So we have to figure out how to secure it with fencing, but we plan on using that to plant lettuce and tomatoes and herbs and whatever we can grow in our back in order to create the food truck that we're buying this week. In fact, we just wrote the check this morning. We found a truck. We're happy to say that there's only 2,500 miles. It used to be it should have been a Country Donuts truck, but it's now going to be a Grace truck. So we do need 2 redo it and add some equipment, some double burners, in order to make it not a donut truck into an all-inclusive truck where our kids will get all the proper licenses and we will have a guest chef on or whoever wants to come on to help us prepare. We're not sure what we're cooking yet. It'll be the basic staples. We're wrapping the truck so everybody knows it's going to be Gray-centric. It will be out there. We will have chefs helping us. We will hire somebody to actually run this truck, run the program, decide where it's going, but our kids will be on it. And with that, we could actually encourage them to learn a little bit more, give them stipends so that they feel that there's a difference they're making in the community. So be prepared to have our food truck out in the community. We hope by our first food festival or in the spring. It could be used anywhere and we're open to any possibility. So that was another one. And then our big kitchen center, that's capital funding. I don't know if I should even go through that, but all the paperwork is in.
Yes,
What we
I
plan on
see, I've
doing,
seen your
yes,
application.
is create culinary experiences for all. So during the day, we hope to have 6 to 8 kitchens, including studios for our participants for other activities. But the 6 to 8 kitchens will be designated during the day for any nonprofit that wants to come in free of charge. We're not charging anybody any cost for this, and it'll be accessible to all those with all various disabilities. But in order to sustain that program, we want to make it into an incubation kitchen overnight where people would actually come in, rent it for making cupcakes or anything else that they have for their own food truck, because there's no incubation kitchen here at Staten Island. So what we would do is create this situation where we're sustaining our programs through renting it out and not charging anybody else during the day to use it. And it would also encourage our kids to hopefully make products or hot sauces or salad dressings, and the sky's the limit for this program. Yeah, I hope it's all good too. So that's what I have.
I love the food truck idea.
I'm so excited to,
Maybe we can, so sometimes we do different things outside, Renee. I was thinking like, our concerts, sometimes we partner with different, maybe like, when they get that, we can,
Absolutely.
have them outside. When we do like afternoon concerts where we have the bands from middle schools and high schools come and play music, and we set up tables and everything. People come to eat their lunch there, and, we partner with different groups. So maybe when you have that, 1 or 2 of the concerts,
Sure, we would love
have
that.
the food truck. I think that would be like a, great partnership.
and we have a lot of the chefs already, like from Nick's Lobster House, he wants to be on it, Massimo wants to do something. So it's like we're learning from the chefs. So it's not just gonna be, we're throwing you chicken nuggets. We're hoping to get good quality food that the kids are actually making and serving, and
And that would be
Hope
great
the
for
best.
us. We'd have a place to go for lunch and everything too, so, that was it. Does anybody have any questions for Grace? Joni? Any questions?
No, everything's good, great program, and Marie, great idea.
thanks.
Okay, next up, Joanne?
Okay, so you have the documents, I'm not gonna read it, I just wanna highlight the key points. One is that, even to serve primarily individuals on the profound end of the spectrum. Most of the individuals are either nonverbal or have significant behavior challenges, which really precludes them from being able to independently work in the community because they require such staffing supports. One of the projects that we're working on is we are actually right now in discussions with Superior Chocolates. We're going to be taking over Superior Chocolates and creating a chocolate factory. Our individuals have already been there doing a lot of work. They're very independent. The goal of the program is to actually eventually become its own freestanding business, not-for-profit. But the idea is that we're going to hire a minimum of 50% of the workforce will be autistic. The 2 big key points to it will be that those with profound autism will actually get paid a living wage. They'll get competitive wages. Most of them, because of their benefits, can't work full-time, but they'll work whatever they want. The reason this project will work is that we're taking over about 65,000 square feet in that building, so we will have the supports that are nearby. But most of the individuals that are now working there as volunteers are really independent. They just really enjoy it. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a chocolate factory in action, but it is made for people with autism. The second part of that project is the other group of individuals on the spectrum that are grossly unemployed or underemployed, and that's the individuals that graduate high school, many go to college, graduate college, get jobs, lose jobs, get jobs, lose jobs. They can't keep the jobs, they're often disconnected from any level of support because they've gone to college. They lack the social skills to navigate the employment world, and so they keep getting fired. In fact, we have 5 of them working for us right now, even 2, doing things that really they don't love to do, but they just need a job. So the other part of the chocolate factory will be a program designed to take these individuals in, give them a year of what we'll call an internship, assess what their issues are that are preventing them from keeping jobs, and then work on them, and in the end, develop an accommodation plan. Because part of the problem is that we can't fix everything. Sometimes they just need accommodations, just like every other person with disabilities. But we need to develop that plan, and then we will work with them in their next job site to actually. So what we're looking for with that, if you read my document, you'll see that we're looking for capital. But we decided not to go ahead this year and make the application because the building that we're acquiring, it's taking longer than we thought. So we're probably not going to be able to use that capital for renovations or acquisition until next year. So just putting it out there that we'll be here next year and we'll have filled out the applications. But there are things that we do need now to make, it's a startup business. We don't have any money at this point to do things like acquire some of the necessary materials, the marketing, that type of stuff. So that's what we're working on right now. The second big project that we're working on is the senior center. So people, we're 50 years in. I have probably 25 individuals that are over 50, some are 60, some are 70. They have profound autism. They're not going to senior centers on Staten Island. And what you probably don't realize is that while we're 6% of the population of the city, Staten Island gets less than 1% of the senior funding from the city. So we've applied numerous times through the council and there for support for this project, but we can't break into the senior world. We did create an advisory group, and we're working, it's a really, really prestigious group. We've got the former commissioner of the aging, because we don't know aging, and aging doesn't know autism. So this is an opportunity for us to work together with people who are experts in aging to create a center that will be dedicated to allowing our seniors to age in place and have the same level of respect and dignity that other seniors that aren't on the spectrum are able to achieve. Once it's open, we hope that it'll actually be integrated. One of the other things that people don't realize is that ADA, which is the model we use, is also very effective for people with Alzheimer's who are in their more difficult stage. And so we would become a center that would actually be eligible. My mom, for example, had Alzheimer's, and we couldn't get her to any day programs. There weren't any day programs available, but ones that were available would not accept somebody that either eloped, meaning they walked out of the building, or they had behaviors. So that's the other thing. We did get a really nice grant from Community Trust to get the program started. What we're working on this year, while we don't have the building, is the curriculum, are the assessment tools. You know, some of you in this room are my age or older. We have aging behaviors. I mean, my knees creak when I stand up. And when I turned 40, I couldn't see any longer. But our individuals can't talk to us about this. And so we have to develop assessment tools that allow us to assess aging behavior in nonverbal people. And so those are the things we're working on. So, you know, those are the 2 big areas. The last area is, I don't know if you're aware, but 4 preschools for children with special needs have closed on Staten Island in the last several years. That leaves a huge gap for people, preschoolers, to get services. So there are these waiting lists. They're getting partial services, but they're not getting what they need. There's a recent closure over on the South Shore that we are working with that building and that program to take it over. So we're going to need some money. Again, I'm not 100% sure that we're going to fit it into this year, so I'll let you know when we, but if we do, we're going to need equipment, supplies, things like that to get the program up and running. We would spend all that money before June, because our plan would be to start July or September, and we need the equipment beforehand. So, those are the, I'm sure I said much more in my paper, but those are the three projects we're working on.
They all sound like fantastic projects that are definitely needed on Staten Island. I love the senior center idea too, it's great. Anybody have any comments or questions? Joan?
Yes, I do. I can't say enough about Joanne, her staff, the team, and now going into seniors. I'm just blown away. It's fantastic. Thank you so much, Joanne.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, last but not least, Linda, it is finally your turn. Staten Island Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Thank you all for taking the time to spend here with all of the organizations here in Staten Island today. My name is Linda Barron. I'm the president of the Chamber. The Staten Island Chamber of Commerce has been in existence for 130 years here on Staten Island, and our primary mission is to improve the economic climate and expand business opportunities on Staten Island. And day to day, we're here to support small businesses. We are a membership organization. About 80% of our members have under 10 employees, but we also represent non-members through a lot of the different programming that we do. I'm going to mention some of that programming right now. What we're here today is looking for more or less, the ability to continue and execute and expand the programs that we currently are running. I'm going to start out with Chamber Assist, which is basically the Staten Island small businesses have real challenges finding quality candidates for jobs. So we have an active job board at the Chamber, and we help smaller businesses try to find candidates for those job openings by doing pre-screenings and also helping them with some of the labor law guidance and things like that they have. Most of them don't have HR departments, so they need support there. One of the things that we're struggling with at the Chamber is the changing demographics of Staten Island, and really trying to get a handle on communicating with different populations, whether it be the Asian population, the Russian population, et cetera, and really trying to foster better communication, better meetings with those groups so that we can support them and support them operating their businesses here on the island. We've seen a huge shift from 2000 to 2017 alone in the number of immigrants moving to Staten Island increased by 57%, which is 5 times greater than the citywide rate. Last year, we launched for the first time the Leading Lady Collective, which is a group of about 12 business owners. It was a 6-month cohort teaching them how to basically, look at their business from everything from their business plans to, legal support, marketing resources, networking, support to apply for MWB certifications, and really just provide them some mentorship as they move forward with their business plans. And it's both business and not-for-profits participate in that. Investing in our next generation, some of the programs that we run are our Young Entrepreneurs Academy, which is in year 11, where we teach high school students how to start and operate their own business. It is a 20-week program, culminates with a competition where they get seed funding from the business owners here on Staten Island who act as judges. We also launched last year the National Civics Bee, which is a program geared towards middle school students, which really is them learning a little bit more about civic responsibility and looking at different issues that are impacting the community. Last year, some of the issues that came up were bullying, traffic, transportation, mental health, you name it. They talked about a lot of the things that we talk about as adults here on Staten Island. And what they did is they competed, and they also learned a little bit about government, how government works as part of that, and they moved on to a national competition in Albany. Also, we have a young professionals group at the Chamber, so we've been doing that for about 10 years now, trying to develop Staten Island's future leaders in business, they get involved in a lot of networking, but they also do some professional development, and they support with their networking. They support a lot of the local organizations on Staten Island and do some fundraising for initiatives to help not-for-profits. And then we have some neighborhood work that we do. We're currently still working on downtown Staten Island bid formation, and we've worked with a small steering committee on the East Shore Local Development Corporation, which really we just keep them up to date on what's happening with the East Shore seawall and kind of address some of the issues that they're having in their groups. But for the most part, it's one-on-one assistance. It's spending time with businesses and providing them guidance that they need help with. Most of our business, like I said, are very small last but not least, I'm here, one of the things that I wanted to mention to the Borough Board is that the Staten Island Chamber is part of the Small Business Resource Network, which was an initiative of the 5 borough chambers that was created out of COVID, where we actually do on-the-ground outreach to non-member businesses in all of the boroughs. So we do this island-wide. We've been doing it now since 2020. In that period of time, we've reached on Staten Island alone 5,400 businesses and provided outreach specifically to underserved businesses who don't necessarily aren't members of the chamber, don't come to our doors. I have a staff that's out there at least 2 or 3 times a week. I have 3 people that go on the ground and do outreach. What I wanted to ask for is that is something that is funded by the mayor's office, and basically it's in the current fiscal year, the SBR is supported by a $1.5 million line item in the Economic Development Corporation to the Department of Small Business Services. The funding is not included in the mayor's fiscal 2026 preliminary budget. Staten Island's portion would be $213,000. What we'd like to do is just ask you to support that if you see it as a line item in the budget. But basically, we are looking for operational and program support for the year. We appreciate the support that the Borough President's Office has given us in the past. We hope you will consider us again this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Linda. I know we have partnered with you on numerous initiatives, so,
I didn't even mention half of them.
I don't have any questions. Do any of the board members have any questions? Joni?
It's all good, good program.
Okay, so that was the last of our presentations for the morning session. We will be back at 4 p.m. tonight with the evening session where we have some other additional groups coming. So can I just entertain by, oh, sorry, Susan.
I'm sorry, I just left out one thing for someone here. We, in 2024, put our arts education programs in Staten Island, we served for 20,000 kids, in 51 schools, just wanted to let you know.
Okay, alrighty. Okay, does anybody else want to add anything? Okay, all right, so the members of the board, if I could just entertain a motion to adjourn to the 4 p.m. Meeting, okay? Frank first, can I have a second, please? Elena second. All right, meeting is concluded.
Thank you.